Good evening, learners. I hope you are well wherever you are. Again, here is Teacher Asaf, and I want us to go through KCSE 2024 Mathematics Paper 1 from number 1 to number 7, so that we will see what was assessed in that year, and also for the sake of the learners who will be sitting for the national examination coming this year on November, I would like to take this opportunity to wish you a success as you will be sitting for your examination. And I want us to go through the paper as how it was and check out on the various areas where most learners do mistakes. Don't forget to like this video. Ensure you click my subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you will be updated in each and every upload I make. So the first question in section 1 of this paper, this is the question. I'll just be displaying the question, then I'll do the solutions on the blank space on a plain paper. So the question reads, without using mathematical tables or a calculator, evaluate 0.13 times 0.3 minus 0.003 over 0.009. Give the answer in decimal form. So quickly, we will solve that question together. And question number 1, I'll start here. Question number 1, it reads 0.13 multiplied by 0.3 minus 0.003 over 0.09. So in this particular question, we are not supposed to be using mathematical tables or a calculator. So we will start by solving the numerator, and when we solve the numerator, we can write the numerator as a fraction, so that will be 13 over 100. Remember, we will take the two decimals towards the right, and we will take it 2 times, so it will be 13 out of 100 multiplied by 3 over 10, then minus 3 over 1000. So we can apply the rule of BODMAS. And the rule of BODMAS states that for this case, we will start with multiplication. So we will multiply 13 over 100 multiplied by 3 over 10. And that will definitely give us 39 over 1000 minus 3 over 1000. So by solving that one, the numerator will give us 36 over 1000. And by doing that, we are done with the numerator. We can proceed to find the denominator. And the denominator, we have the denominator as 0.09. So we will complete our operation on now numerator divided by denominator. And that will be 36 over 1000 divided by 9 over 100. So having the division operation, what we are going to do in this particular area, we will change our sign to multiplication, then we will reciprocate. So we will have 36 over 1000 multiplied by 100 over 9. And when we have that, we will simplify 2 decimal places, two zeros, we'll go with 2 zeros, and we will have 36 over 90, which we can continue simplifying by 6. That will give us 6, and by 6 that will give us 1, because of 6 remainder 3, 15. Then having 6 over 15, that is equivalent to 2 over 5. If we continue simplifying it by 3, 2 by 3, 5, and our answer is 2 over 5, we can express it as a decimal to be 0.4. That is our final answer. So we are done with question number 1. We can split question number 1 working space with the one for question number 2. So by doing that simple calculation, you will get 3 marks in question number 1. So we will continue with question number 2. Question number 2, it reads simplify the expression. Simplify the expression. Simplify the expression. And the expression we are supposed to simplify is 4x squared minus 9 over 2x squared plus x minus 6. So that is the expression we are supposed to simplify, and by solving that we will get 3 good marks. So for us to simplify this expression, we need first to start working out the numerator, and our numerator is 4x squared minus 9. So we can decide to start with the numerator. We can start with the numerator, and when we start with the numerator, 4x squared minus 9, here we are going to use what we call the difference of two squares, that states that a squared minus b squared is equal to a minus b, a plus b. And by having that, this is the same as saying 4x squared is the same as saying 2 squared x squared, 2 squared x squared minus 3 squared. That is the same as saying the square root of 2 squared is 2, the square root of x is x, of x squared is x minus 3, then the conjugate is 2x plus 3. By doing that, we are done with the numerator and we will get 1 mark. So we proceed with the denominator. The denominator, we have 2x squared plus x minus 6. So in our denominator, we will factorize. So we will simplify our denominator using factorization. And how do we factorize? We will factorize using quadratic factorization, and this is how we go about it. We will first determine the product, and for us to determine the product, our product is always a and c in a quadratic equation. So a times c, 2 times negative 6 is negative 12. Then we'll have the sum. The sum is b. B is the coefficient of x, which is 1. And then we proceed to find the factors. And the factors, we need to find two numbers in which the value, when we multiply the two numbers, they will give us negative 12. When we add them, they will give us 1. And the two numbers are negative 3 and 4. So negative 3 plus 4 is 1. Negative 3 multiplied by 4 is negative 12. So those are the two factors that we will use. So for us now to simplify the denominator, we will now take 2x squared. Then we will replace b, which is positive 1, with the factors. So it will be minus 3x plus 4x. And we will retain our coefficient, our variable x in both cases, then minus 6. So when we reach this particular point, we factorize by grouping. We factorize by grouping. So here we factorize by grouping. Factorizing by grouping, we'll take 2 by 2, and the common factor here is x, and into brackets we will have 2x minus 3, and in this case we have plus the common factor here is 2, and we will have 2x minus 3. So the solution for the denominator will be, since the bracket is identical, we will choose 1 and take 2x minus 3, and we will take the variables outside the bracket, which are x plus 2. So that is the denominator. So for us to complete our question, we now need to simplify the numerator and the denominator. So our numerator is 2x minus 3, 2x plus 3 over 2x minus 3 and x plus 2. And having that, we will simplify 2x and 2x, and we will be left behind with 2x plus 3 over x plus 2. And by having that, we are done with the second solution. We are done with the second solution. So we will proceed to question number 3. We proceed to question number 3. And in question number 3, we have a straight line, line 1, whose equation is y is equal to 2 minus a third x, meets the y-axis at Q. Another straight line, line 2, is perpendicular to line 1 at Q. Find the equation of line 2 in the form y is equal to mx plus c, where m and c are constants. So this question is in the topic gradient and equation of straight lines, that is form 2 work, and we are going to solve this question. So we have been given the equation of line 1 as, so we can start here by saying the equation of line 1 is given as y is equal to 2 minus a third x, and we are being told that line 1, a straight line 1 whose equation is y is equal to 2 minus a third x, meets y-axis at Q. So it meets y-axis. So we are told that this line meets y-axis at Q. So when we are told it meets y-axis at Q, we need to determine the coordinate of Q. And we need to understand that when a straight line cuts across the y-axis, the value of x is always equal to 0. When a line cuts across the y-axis, the value of x is always equivalent to 0. So we are going to take our equation y is equal to 2 minus a third x, and this equation of ours, we will substitute the value of x with 0. So when we substitute x with 0, we will end up having y as 2 minus a third multiplied by 0, which will give us 2 minus 0, which is equal to 2. So our y is equal to 2. Therefore, our coordinate Q will be equal to 0, 2. Our coordinate Q will be equal to 0, 2. So in short, line 1 meets y-axis at Q. Then our question reads, another straight line 2 is perpendicular to line 1 at Q. So another line 2 is perpendicular. When we talk of perpendicular lines, we mean that both lines intersect each other at right angle. And if both lines intersect each other at right angle, we should know that the gradient of both lines, when multiplied, adds up to -1. So when we multiply the gradient of the two lines, we will get -1. And since we have the gradient of the first line as -1/3, we can be able to determine the gradient of the second line, which will be -1/3 multiplied by m2 is equal to -1. And for us to get m2, we'll multiply both sides by the reciprocal and both sides by the reciprocal. So this will simplify out, and we will be left behind with m2 is equal to 3. So the gradient of line 2, is 3, and it is at point Q, which is 0, 2. So at 0, 2, the gradient is 3, and the arbitrary points of a line are x and y. So we can proceed to determine the equation of the line. So our equation of the line will be change in y, that is y minus 2 over x minus 0. So x minus 0 is x is equal to 3 over 1. And by doing so, we will have, when we cross multiply, we will have y minus 2 multiplied by 1, that should give us 3 multiplied by x. So that will be y is equal to 3x plus 2 when complete. And that is the equation of line 2. And by doing so, we are done with question number 3. We will proceed to question number 4. As I said in the beginning of this lesson, we will do 8 questions. So that is from number 1 to number 8. So let's proceed with question number 4. Question number 4 reads, a circle of radius 3 centimeters passes through all the vertices of a regular hexagon. Determine the area of the circle that lies outside the hexagon. Determine the area of the circle that lies outside the hexagon. So we can make a small diagram of a hexagon here, and we can have this as our hexagon. So we can have this as our hexagon. A hexagon is a 6-sided polygon, and this being a regular hexagon, there is a circle that touches all its vertices. So we can just make a simple diagram, and that will be a clear illustration of what our question is saying. And we are being told that the circle has a radius of 3 centimeters. The circle has a radius of 3 centimeters. So we are being told determine the area of the circle that lies outside the polygon. So we are being told to find the area that lies outside the polygon. So this is the area that lies outside the polygon. Let me shade it. So we are supposed to, in short, solve the area of the shaded region. So for us to solve this question, the easiest way to solve this question, we need first to determine the area of the circle. So for us to find the area of the shaded, allow me to simplify it in this manner. We will say that will be the area of the circle minus the area of the hexagon. The area of the circle minus the area of the hexagon. So that will give us, we will first start determining the dimensions of the hexagon, and this one is equal to this one. That one will be equal to that one. And if we determine this particular angle here, if we determine, we need to determine this dimension here. So we can take this triangle, and this triangle has 3 centimeters here. It has 3 centimeters here. And how many? We have approximately 6 triangles inside. So if we take 360 divide by 6, we will get each angle to be 60. So this one being 60, this one will be equal to 30 degrees here at the center, half of it. And we want to determine this, and we are going to get that sine of 30 is equal to x over 3, and that will definitely give us x is equal to 3 multiplied by sine of 30, which will give us 1.5 centimeters. Multiplying it by 2, we will end up having 3 centimeters. So for us to find the area of the triangles, we are going to determine the number of triangles in the hexagon, and the number of triangles in the hexagon will be equivalent to n minus 2. So since the hexagon, these are the number of triangles, the number of triangles. So a hexagon has 6 sides, and the number of triangles therefore will be 6 minus 2, which is equivalent to 4. So we will now determine the area of the triangles, and when we determine the area of the triangles, we will have a half multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by sine 60 degrees. Then taking this as the triangle, we will multiply it by 6 triangles, and by multiplying this using a calculator, we are going to have 23.38 centimeters squared. We will have 23.38 centimeters squared. Then let us determine the area of the circle. So this is the area of the triangles, and now we need to determine the area of the circle. The area of the circle is pi r squared. So the area will be 22 over 7 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3, and we will have 22 over 7 multiplied by 3 by 3. It will be equal to 28.29 centimeters squared. So for us to find, this is the area of the circle. So for us to now determine the area of the shaded line, it is the area of the circle subtract the area of the triangle. So that is 28.29 minus 23.38, and once we subtract that, we will get 28.29 minus 23.38. That will definitely give us 4.91 centimeters squared. 4.91 centimeters squared. So that is question number 4. We will proceed to question number 5. We will proceed to question number 5. Proceed to question number 5. So question number 5 reads, solve for x in the equation. Solve for x in the equation. We write our equation down. Solve, we are supposed to solve for x. And solution for x, 25 to power x is equal to 125 to power 2 over 3 divided by 5 to power 1, and by doing that we should get 3 marks. So in this question we are going to take 25. Our bases are 25, 125 and 5. Since our smallest base in this case is 5, we will write 25 to base 5. So it will be 5 squared multiplied by x should be equal to 125 is the same as 5 to power 3 multiplied by 2 power 2 thirds divided by 5 to power 1. So we will now multiply the powers. We will have 5 to power 2x is equal to 5 to power 3 will simplify with 3, and we will be left with 5 to power 2 divided by 5 to power 1. By having that, we will say 5 to power 2x is equal to, division law, we take, since the base is common, we take the base 5 to power 2 minus, this was to power negative 1 to power negative 1 to power negative 1, so it will be 2 minus 1. And by having that, we will drop base 5, and we will be left with 2h is equal to 2 minus 2, and that will give us 2h is equal to 2, sorry, this is 1, minus 1 is plus 1, so 2h is equal to 3. We will divide both sides by 2, and we will have our h as 1.5 or 1.5. By doing that, we are done with question number 5. We'll proceed to question number 6. Proceed to question number 6. Question number 6 leads. Question number 6 leads. A carpenter has 2 big pieces of wood of equal length. The carpenter cut the first piece into smaller pieces of length 15 cm each without remainder. The carpenter cut the second piece into smaller pieces of length 24 cm each without remainder. Determine the minimum length of each of the big pieces of wood. 2 marks. So we have been given the lengths of the smaller pieces that the carpenter is cutting. The first one is 15 cm and the second one is 24 cm. And the question is asking, determine the minimum length of each of the big. So when we are told to determine the minimum length, in simple terms, we are being told to determine the LCM, the least common multiple. So in this case, this question is earning you 2 marks. In this case, we are going to determine the LCM of 15 and 24. 15 and 24. And for us to determine the LCM of 15 and 24, we will start with the least common multiple for both cases, that is 2. And here we'll have 15, we'll have 12, then we'll still use 2 because of 12, we'll have 15 and we'll have 6, we'll still use 2. Then as the next one, we have 15, we have 3. The next least common multiple or least common factor will be 3, that will be 5 and 1, and last but not the least will be 5, and that will give us a 1 and a 1. So our LCM will be equal to 2 cubic. The reason I'm saying cubic is that you might take 2 times 2 times 2 is the same as 2 to power 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 5, and that will definitely give us 8 times 3 times 5, which is equal to 120 centimeters. So that is number 6. We are done with question number 6. We will proceed to question number 7. Proceed to question number 7. Question number 7 reads, a cylindrical container of internal radius 10.5 centimeters, a cylindrical container of internal radius 10.5 centimeter has a hemispherical base. The container has water up to a height of 30.5 centimeters. Calculate the surface area of the container that is in contact with water. So in this question, we will start off with drawing the structure of the container. And the structure of our container, as we have been told, is it has a cylindrical part, with a hemispherical base. So this is the cylindrical part, and then we have a hemispherical base, and we are being told it has an internal radius of 10.5 centimeters, and it has a height of, it has water up to a height of 30.5 centimeter. So if it has water up to a height of 30.5 centimeter and the radius is 10.5, so from here to here it is equal to 10.5. It is equal to 10.5 centimeters. Therefore, if the total height, as our question dictates, if the total height of the water is up to 30.5 centimeter, that means we should take 30 centimeters, 30.5, we subtract 10.5 as the radius of the hemispherical part, and we will get 20. The rest of the height is from this point to maybe that area, which is the 20 centimeters. So the water reaches to maybe this height. That is the height that the water is reaching, and we have been told to calculate the surface area of the container that is in contact with water. And for us to determine that area that is in contact with water, we are going to take we need to determine the surface area of the hemisphere multiplied by the surface area of the cylinder in contact with water, that is the curved surface area. And the formula that we will use here is that total area will be equivalent to 2 pi r squared. This is the surface area of the hemisphere that is in contact with water, plus the curved surface area of the cylinder that is in contact with water, which is equal to pi dh. So that is the formula we are going to use. And for us to use that formula, we will take our area as 2 multiplied by 22 over 7 multiplied by 10.5 squared plus 22 over 7 multiplied by diameter is 10.5 times 2. 10.5 times 2, that will give us 21. So this will give us 21 times the height of the cylindrical part will be 20. So it is the area of the hemispherical part plus the curved surface area in contact with water, that is pi dh. And by doing that, when we solve the first part, we will have area is equal to 2 times 22 over 7 times 10.5 squared will give us 693 centimeters squared, plus the second part will be 22 over 7 times 21 times 20, that will give us 1320 centimeters squared. So that will give us a total of 693 plus 1320, that will be 2013 centimeters squared. So that will be the total surface area in contact with the water. That is the total surface area in contact with the water. So let's do our last question. We had decided that we will do from question number 1 to question number 7. I think it was question number 7 which was supposed to be our last question, if I am not mistaken. And by doing question number 1 to question number 7, I think we will be done. Yes, we are done. So that is the end of our session. So from question number 1 to question number 7, that was what was expected to be done in last year KCSE examination. So tomorrow we will continue, and I would also remind you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, turn on the notification bell, and I'll be updating you with this kind of work, mathematics that is, and I'll assist you in all ways possible. My contacts are in my bio. You can contact me through my bio, and I'm there to help you. Thank you so much. I wish you all the best as you prepare for your KCSE 2025 examination. Thank you, thank you, thank you.